Hi there, and welcome to the Color Cinema. I'm live. Why am I live again tonight? Well, it's just for kind of a small announcement, and to have a little conversation with anybody here that wants to drop in. So if you're a regular on my channel and you don't know this is happening right now, it is, and I'm gonna just like tweet this out so that people know. Yeah. So we're just gonna tweet it out really quickly, and we'll get to the announcement. Hey, Scotter. Hey there, Alan. So I was trying to figure out exactly how that I'm gonna like. Hey there, Mary. I'm trying to get some people here, like just so I can actually let you guys know. And hopefully, you guys will like this. So, for those that don't know, or are kind of unaware, for a while I've been struggling with trying to figure out exactly how to work the whole Patreon thing and all that type of stuff. And then my better half came up with an idea. And that's what we're going to go with. Because she's smarter than me. I'm in a different room. I'm upstairs. This is, well, usually the movie library is in the downstairs part. This is like, right, well, this here's my work area, and you can see a lot of my books in the background. And so hopefully this will work out a little bit better than it does downstairs. Anyway, been having some issues with this, and I'm trying to work on. I've had my Patreon up for a few months now, obviously since last October, but I wanted to start actually being able to do something for it because people have been nice enough and been kind enough to that have been supporting me for a while. So my better half actually came up with an idea, and it's going to be the first thing that we're going to be doing, and it's going to be exclusive to the Patreon, at least for a while. So I've managed to convince my better half. Well, she managed to convince me that me and her are going to actually do some reviews together. So we'll be doing some pre-tape reviews, and we're going to pick unusual, quirky, weird, odd films to do together to talk about. Her with her perspective on it, and me with mine. And we have very, very different perspectives. So it'll be interesting to see how it goes. We watched the first movie that we are going to review, and we're taping it tomorrow morning, and it'll be put up after. It'll be put up afterwards, and it'll be on. So if you're on Patreon, it'll be there, and you'll be able to see it. So we are reviewing the first of all is Dr. Jekyll's Dungeon of Doom, and believe it or not, she picked it out. So I came downstairs because I had movies set up that I was going to be doing for review purposes, and ones I was just going to watch. So I came downstairs. We had like five. I gave her five different choices. I can tell you the other four choices right now. We're better. We're better ideas. Or we're better films anyway than Dr. Jekyll's Dungeon of Doom to watch, and would be less painful. But she thought, you know what? A painful movie is a fun movie to review. So I'm not sure. Hey there, Death Bomb. But a quick shout out to my Patreon supporters right now, because it's you're gonna be hopefully happy. This is the start of this. So Action Jackman, Brant, Brian from Just to This, Dale, Dr. Mark, Mad Scientist, JR, Ryan, and the other Ryan, Shadow Price, and Lisa Crow, my newest Patreon supporter. Tomorrow, hopefully, well, it's being taped tomorrow, so tomorrow night or Monday, my very first Patreon exclusive comes up, and it's not just me. You're gonna finally get to see my better half talking and reviewing a film right here on. And we're not sure if we're gonna do it in the movie library, if we're gonna do it around here. But we want to do it unique and do something kind of different, and do something that's sort of special. Another thing that I'm going to be doing, and I'm not quite sure if this is going to be exclusive or it's going to be like going to be a crossover, but I am, as a physical media guy, what I'm trying to do as well, and this is harder for me, but I'm actually going to be reviewing the different streaming services that I can. So I have been actually looking into, and I've gotten trial services like stuff, and I've been taking notes and reviewing, and seeing like what's on here, what's on different ones. But I'm going to stay away from like the Netflix and all that right away. Uh, I did a chat earlier. That's the thing. But I'm doing. This was the announcement. This was a big announcement. I want to do it live. I was going to pre-tape this announcement, but I wanted to get your to gauge your guys' reactions as well. So I'm going to be I'm going to be reviewing the streaming services as well for my Patreon. I'm going to be reviewing everything from the Criterion Channel to Stacked to Acorn and BritBox. I'm going to do a BritBox versus Acorn video, and I think my better half will definitely be involved in that one as well. So those are two things that are coming out. Like I'll still be doing the regular videos on here, the live videos, and like some pre-tape things. But my better half wanted to get involved, and she wanted to get involved in that portion of it. So you're going to get, and we don't have quite a name for it yet, but we'll be doing our, and the interesting thing, I guess, about like if do pre-tape something and put it as an exclusive Patreon thing is that we're not hampered in what we have to say. So we can actually, we can be a bit more blunt, and a bit more open with stuff like, right, and here you got, it's still YouTube, and you still got to like, if you're monetized, you want to make sure you don't get hit with that demonetization thing. So you're very careful. So you will definitely get to hear and see us, me and my better half, who you hear about all the time but don't see, live and uncut. And we're not quite sure how often we're going to be doing them, but we're going to start them. We're taping our first one tomorrow, and I'm a little nervous about it. And I've been taping stuff for a while. So what do you guys think? Because you guys are quiet, and you guys aren't normally quiet. Thank you, Mary. I wish I could take credit for it, but I can't. I was downstairs, and I was, if you watched my video earlier on, I was frustrated. I was extremely frustrated. I was having problems with my iPad. I was trying to get things to work out, and I keep getting disconnected. I kept getting disconnected and disconnected and disconnected. And I actually texted my better half during the video, and in kind of frustration, I said, this is really getting to me. What's the best way to do this? And so she said, so she came back. She said, well, I got a Patreon idea. And I came upstairs after the video was done, and we talked about it. And she said, you know what, I said, I don't like to come on camera, but let's do this. And she knows not as many people are going to see it because it's exclusive to Patreon. But it'll be fun. And I'm interested and excited to do something, because it's been a long time since we've done any type of video together. And I'm interested to see how it goes. The last time we did a video together, it got demonetized right away. Hey, Michelle, welcome. I haven't seen you in a while. Hey, triple feature. By the way, I got to check out your latest video. Will this be up on my YouTube? Not initially anyway. We're trying to work out on how that it'll be. Hey there, Christian. How we're going to do that? Because I've got, unlike a lot of people that have like a Patreon like portion of their channel, most people have like a certain, whether they do like certain like live streams or like kind of like things that people get or things, and I didn't want to like put things at certain dollar amounts, like, oh, you got to get to this dollar amount. No, it was like, put $1, you're still going to get the same thing. But there's been nothing there, like you said, and people have been really good in supporting me, like anyway. So as of right now, for now, the videos with me and my better half, Michelle, me and my better half are going to do videos together, are going to be exclusive to the Patreon. The stream channel reviews may cross over, except for initially BritBox versus Acorn TV, which which I think my better half's good because she's really into the British programs. Hey there, Chris. So she's really into the British programs. So I think that's going to be a good one for her to review as well. So so here on like with Amazon, we recently got the BritBox as well. How do you do Patreon? Well, it's a I put it up sometimes on my, and I will eventually put it up on this video as well. I'll like link it up there, and it's pretty simple. It's like it's a way to support like creators on you, whether on YouTube or like what and things that they do, and it can be like small amounts. Like it can be like $1, it can be like $2, and you just go like for a month, every month, whatever. I got like people from like $1 pledges to $5 pledges, but oh, Ryan, thank you. But that's the thing. They'll be exclusive to this to my Patreon, and you guys get to see them. And it's not it's a thing where you get to see it on Patreon, then maybe 2 days later it's going to be here. No, if it comes up here, it's going to be like maybe a month or so down the road. But as of right now, those are going to be exclusive to the Patreon because that's the way my better half wanted to do it, and I think because for her starting out as well, it's a lesser audience, and it's not live, and so she can she's not as nervous when it comes to that. So I'm excited. I was super excited because recently we've been kind of watching our own shows and that type of thing. I've been reviewing and watching the three rides. I did. It pops up on my screen, so thank you so much. I really appreciate that. So so basically we'll be we watched Dr. Jekyll's Dungeon of Doom tonight as our first one, and I don't know who got that from Vinegar Syndrome, but around halfway through the movie, my better half turned to me, and you know it, Deathbound, and she said to me, I have lots of things to say on this film. Because I was worried at first. Said, okay, this is going to be a movie. Is it going to be too, like, crazy or to actually do a review on? And she said, no, that's the best kind. So now you know why I love this girl. So, because I had, like, to give you examples, along with Dr. Jekyll's Dungeon, I had Rad there. I had Tammy and the T-Rex there. And all the other videos I do on YouTube are reviews are pretty much YouTube exclusives, and my unboxings are pretty much YouTube exclusives as well. So everything else is really still on the YouTube channels. It's just these new shows are going to be like on the Patreon. And and again, a new Patreon there, triple feature. Thank you so much. That's what I tried to do. So see, Mary, when I did those two pre-taped videos, I put my Patreon link on both of them, I think, at the time. Hey there, Shadow. You're getting a Patreon show, finally. You're getting... I thanked you at the beginning of the thing. You're getting a Patreon show. Me and my better half are going to be doing reviews, pre-taped reviews together on some crazy, insane films. So you're going to see my better half along with me. And Dr. Jekyll's Dungeon of Doom is the first thing that we're reviewing. So we're taping it tomorrow. So hopefully you like that. But it's exclusive. It's completely exclusive to Patreon. Along with doing some we're reviewing the streaming channels as well. It'll be interesting to see. I mean, like, she does not like exploitation. See, my better half likes it like to a, I know, she chose it though. Shadow, she chose it. Yeah, what was I saying before? Anyway, so I put up two pre-tape videos like recently. They're just to give it a shot, see what people like, if people like the pre-tape stuff to do in between my live videos. And I did like a like one on on the Friday 13th box set, and I did one on what was it again? Triple feature, horror triple feature from Shriek Show, and I put my Patreon link on there. And I noticed that unlike like my live videos, that somebody came on. Her name is Lisa, and she actually pledged at that time. She became a patron. So that was kind of cool. There, it's I find it's easier for people to find the link on a pre-tape video than it is on a live one. If you go to my on those two recently pre-taped videos, I'm pretty sure if you just scroll right to the end, the pre-taped ones have like the link for the Patreon on there. Doug Bradley was really sweet. I got to say that when I got to meet Doug Bradley, he was a really nice guy. There's certain people that I've been able to. Let's talk about that. Okay, some of the people that I've actually have been able to meet. Doug Bradley was one of the first that I met, like as it comes from like in the horror genre. I was going to Montreal Comic Con, and I had looked online. I talked to a few people, and everybody told me that Doug Bradley was this big germaphobe, and it was like really scary and all this type of stuff. So when I got there, I was expecting like, oh man, how's this guy going to react? So I got there early, and I was like, well, I was the first person there. And I go up to get a picture. I want to get the pinhead picture with Doug Bradley and that. And I'm getting a picture taken with him later on. So like we're talking, and like I'm nervously talking at first, and he comes up, he shakes my hand, does that kind of the half hug thing, which really surprised me. So I'm like, I guess he's not a germaphobe after all. Then, yeah, I'm trying to do more pre-tape stuff to go in between when it comes to stuff like that because I do enjoy doing some of those. I particularly enjoyed the Halloween box set, one that I did. That was really well. When any rare oddity unboxing DVDs and Blu-rays. Well, most of the stuff I unbox is pretty odd. Uh, I have my Severin stuff as shipped, so there is going to be a Severin unboxing coming in the near future. There is 18 titles in that Severin shipment. I have because I bought it and paid for it a long time ago. I wouldn't be able to get it. A certain gigantic box set that's probably going to sit right next to my Godzilla one. I think you can figure out what that is. I'm going to be doing an unboxing of that. Oh, he's amazing. And you know who's really cool too? And the one time I'm not a person that gets nervous when it comes to like celebrities. Like I've never been. That's never been like. I don't know why, except one time, and I was at a small convention, and I went up to meet Jeffrey Combs, and I grew up with like Reanimator, and I'm back again. I grew up with Reanimator, and I grew up with like shows like From Beyond was one of my favorites with Barbara Crampton, Ken Foray, Jeffrey Combs. So I get up there to meet Jeffrey Combs, and I got so many things to say. I bought my Beyond Reanimator DVD with the poster from Arrow Video. He hadn't seen it. He'd never seen it. He was so nice, but I was tongue-tied for the first couple minutes talking. So my better half, because she's never tongue-tied when it comes to that stuff. Her job is like talking in front of people for a big portion. So she's good with that type of stuff. I don't expect to get mine for like the last time Warlock, mine took around 16 days to get. So you should probably have yours fairly soon. I heard that shipping is going to get a bit slower now. So I'm not sure how much stuff I'm going to be getting from the US in the near future, just to be sure, until I can get kind of gauge how the shipping's going to go. I don't know if that you never know. I am, but I have it kind of like very close to the modem, and still it's had a bit of a weak connection. So fingers crossed, guys. Fingers crossed. Literally, like when I say I brought this upstairs and I brought it to my to the modem, I mean, I can almost touch the modem from where I'm at right now, just to make sure. But the problem is mostly my iPad and not in the signal connection. So, but anyway, I was really quiet. Jeffrey Combs was there, and so my better half, because she's a godsend, she started talking to him and talking about some stuff because I'd recently shown her From Beyond, And so she was talking to him about that. And of course, she was a big fan of Star Trek Deep Space Nine. And he was on that one. See, I know Star Trek, but I don't know some of the shows as well as she does. But apparently he was on Star Trek Deep Space Nine. And I didn't remember that, but she talked to him about that as well. And then I was able to eventually I was able to speak. And, and I talked to Coombs for a while, and he was really, really nice. Jeffrey Coombs was really sweet. He was really enamored with the Arrow Video DVD of Beyond Reanimator. My better half, not just like track, but Star Wars. And if it's science fiction or fantasy, she's a huge fan. She grew up she's from Morocco, and they would go to they go to France and places like that a lot. And extender, that's not a good idea actually, but yeah, maybe that's something to look into. Thank you. So when she was growing up, her father was you played three parts? Okay, you know better than I do, man. Her father was a pilot, and every time he'd go out, because he was a pilot for the, he was a royal pilot. So basically, every time he'd fly the king somewhere, or basically what he'd do was he'd have layovers. He would go and he would get he'd get VHS tapes, he'd get movies to bring home to to the kids, mostly to my better half because she was the one that was really into them. So he would bring home the Indiana Jones films, Star Wars, once Rocky Horror Picture Show. I don't think he knew, and he used to read Metal Hurlant, which over here in North America is called heavy metal. Hey there, Indy, welcome, man. They're ditching. How is their Disney movie thing gonna work? Will that make the Disney Movie Club even more exclusive then? Older brother as an extend. You guys know this stuff. I have to get So I heard the new that they weren't putting in any new live action stuff out on 4K and stuff. Has Disney ditched physical media altogether in stores? Has that been has it been verified yet? Because I've heard different things on it. Doing with converting older movies 4K. Okay, so that's what it is. I would think that if they wanted to do stuff with 4K, and if they're smart, because Disney now has a streaming service, Disney Plus, right? Or isn't their best bet to say, okay, we're putting a lot of stuff on streaming, so a lot of our casuals are probably not going to be going to Walmart or whatever to get the stuff if they can watch it on our streaming service. Why not push their Disney Movie Club and put a lot? And now you've got real exclusives on the Disney Movie Club. Fox streaming service. Why don't they just put it into Hulu? Because they got Hulu, they own Hulu. Wouldn't it make more sense to use kind of just have Fox as another a Hulu kind of channel or app? That's kind of, but unless they're having, because Hulu was supposed to come here to Canada as well, but suddenly it's been radio silent on Hulu getting here to Canada, unless they're having real issues with getting Hulu to Canada, and in lieu of that, they're going to be doing a Fox and more that type of thing, streaming service, and put other things on there as well, which is interesting because we had Stack TV, and that's an Amazon app, right? So basically, if you don't have cable and you cut your cable, Stack TV has around 8 different channels that are pretty much stacked on there, right? Oh yeah, definitely. Yes, actually, definitely put this up, especially because this was a big announcement tonight. Well, here's the thing, and people talk about streaming services taking out physical media and stuff like that. But here's the thing, the streaming services are really taking out cable. That's what's going on. Because what you're seeing now is pretty much, if any of you guys here, I'm guess some of you guys here are older like me, and remember when satellite TV came around? Remember when you had all these packages and like, and at first like a lot of cool stuff came out. You could get like the driving channel. I'm Warlock. You remember this? And then you get like what was it called again? The horror channel, which was called Scream TV. We're about freaking you out. Streaming killed the cable star. Exactly, triple. That's exactly what's going on right now. And but eventually, here's the thing: streaming isn't just going to kill cable. Streaming is going to kill some other streaming services because nobody is going to be able to get them all. So some of them are going to be are not going to do as well. They're going to be bought up by other streaming services. So you're not going to see things so a la carte. It's going to be a bit of a battle. Exactly, Masters Horror Fest, and forget any Exhumed, because Exhumed I think it was on Friday nights or Saturday nights. Did Exhumed, and that's where you get to see all the really cool like international horror. So if you wanted to see like a Jess Franco film, or if you wanted to see a Jean Rollin film, or you wanted to see any of those like those Italian or French or more raunchy horror films, then on Scream TV it was Exhumed. Which one was first choice? See, a lot of those came from the same like group, but then they just switched them all around. Somebody mentioned Peacock. So Peacock is the recent one that came out from NBC. They do it in three tiers. There is free, there is the $4.99, which gives you all the shows, and it's called Peacock Premium, including, and this is going to be the really cool thing. If you like sports, for instance, not a lot of people that are watching this are probably going to care about this, but if you want to see the Olympics, or if you, for instance, you're a football fan, well, as football I mean like UK, like soccer, then the Premium League, which is UK football, are going to be streaming exclusively on Peacock. So that's 175 games, including the Olympics, and that's going to be so that was smart of them. First choice was the first page. I kind of remember that actually. You guys are like bringing me back. So I think that's the neat thing to do. And I did watch the first episode because it was on the free service of Peacock TV's Brave New World. I liked it. I really did. I liked the first episode of Brave New World. So that was an interesting one to check out. I don't have my thing open up. Let me just get it here. Okay. I apologize. I normally have it open up, but I didn't know what like hey, if I was going to be doing another video, and I had originally planned to pre-tape this, so, but I figured if I'm going to make an announcement as big as the one that I made, and I hope you agree it was actually a pretty big announcement. Read the comment above. Thought of buying 2 more Blu-ray players because I heard they will phase them out. I don't think so. I mean, like I really don't. Driving channel watched around Comcast. Oh, everybody was Comcast. I used to work for Comcast actually. I remember the decoding box thing. Oh, Andreas, welcome. For those that came in late, for those that are onto my Patreon, you now are getting some exclusive content. My better half tonight agreed to actually do a Patreon review show with me. So we're going to be reviewing, me, and you're finally going to hear. You always hear my better half, but you never see her. So you're finally going to get to see her because we're going to be reviewing movies together, and we're going to be doing an exclusive Patreon show. It'll be pre-taped. It'll be put onto the Patreon. So anybody that has that will get to see that. And our first one is going to be Dr. Jekyll's Dungeon of Doom, which we watched tonight, and we're taping our first episode for that tomorrow. And I'll also be doing some reviewing because there's so many streaming channels coming out now, services and that. for everything from Peacock to Hayu to BritBox to Acorn to Shutter to Criterion. I'm going to be reviewing all those channels, and a lot of those, like the the BritBox versus Acorn video for sure, is going to be an exclusive to the Patreon. So I'm actually kind of excited about that. It's the first time that I've done anything exclusive, and that was for a reason, like because I want to keep most things on the channel, but this was a way for me to keep all my my regular content on the channel, but be able to do something with my better half, and that's I'm very excited about it. The fact that she said I gave her 5 movies to choose from, and she chose Dr. Jekyll's Dungeon of Doom as our first one. That's brave. That's brave. Streaming options are changing the game. See, streaming doesn't change collecting for me. For me, what streaming does is it makes me, and I will say this right now because you get a lot of people that will be hardcore against like streaming altogether, but streaming doesn't stop me from collecting physical media. Streaming makes me a better collector if you do it right. You don't grab everything. Hey, sweetie. No, see, there's the thing. I gave her 5 movies. Like, she read the backs of all of them. She said, "This sounds the worst. Let's watch it." And I said, "Well, is this going to be so bad we're not going to be able to review it?" And she said, "Oh, it can't be that bad." It was that bad, and we'll talk about that on my Patreon channel, by the way. And but literally, like I said at the beginning of the video, we were watching the movie. We got halfway through the movie. She turned to me and she said, "I have so many things to say." So if you're on my Patreon, you're going to hear all the things that she has to say about it, and it's going to be interesting. It's going to be fun. Streaming helps you curate. There's the thing. Streaming for me, if I get a movie, if I watch a movie on a streaming service like Shudder or something like that, it doesn't end for me there, because if it's a good movie and I really like that film, or if it's a movie that I know I'm going to want to watch over again, I don't stop at watching it. I wait for it to come out, and I buy it. I have a lot of Shutter exclusive like films in my collection, because and even though I've had the Shutter service, I don't have it right now, but I do want to get it back before Cursed Film season 2 comes out, and I do want to see The Host. I've heard a lot of good stuff about The Host, by the way. Save a lot of money if you don't subscribe to streaming services. Do you save a lot of money when it comes to like? Well, there's other ways to go too, and you're saving for like you have a certain like set goal in mind, and you know that's definitely that's cool. That's admirable. That's the way to do it. Oh, Japan's expensive anyway. Like, even just flying out there, man, that's going to be expensive. Japan is one of the places that I want to go, but I'm not going to get there for a while yet, obviously. Weeds is a great show, and yeah. There's a reason that girl's on the cover of every season of Weeds, as opposed to the rest of the cast. Just putting that out there. Do you know around what time that you want to go? Do you have like a set time? And said our films, but I got to get those. See, I recently did. I'm not sure if you saw it or not, but I did like a live stream earlier tonight on Mill Creek, and I forgot a couple. I should actually get those, because I was making a video, and people that were here. By the way, thank you guys for putting up with the stoppings in the video. I truly appreciate that. But I forgot a couple of the ones. Like, I was literally like putting stuff back, because literally the stream pretty much it stopped just as I was saying goodbye. It stopped, and I didn't reconnect afterwards. I had like some Pendulum Pictures like box sets that I didn't show, and those are kind of the rare ones from Mill Creek, and a few others. So this video goes very long at all. We'll look at doing that, because I definitely need another Coke. Big on these, by the way. Quebec maple, really good. Sugar cane, really good. Raspberry, stay the hell away from it. It tastes like Buckley's, but a slightly better tasting Buckley's. Now, what they've done with Milan, some people get get it, and some people get kind of confused with it. Basically, it's $30 for Milan, but it's not a rental. It is a you pretty much it sticks on your Disney subscription. I think you own it afterwards. But I really don't. You really don't own it. Like it's you're perpetually renting it. Is what it is. Disney stops releasing physical media. There's gonna be a lot of bootleg. There's already a lot of bootleg DVDs for Disney. But yeah, trust me, man. When I was collecting Disney stuff early on, I would go to flea markets and that, and because my kids were younger at the time, and there was the time like when they were Disney age, like really Disney age for the cartoons and stuff, and I'd be getting stuff, and I'd get these Disney, and I pick them up, and I like, oh, finally I got this one, and it would like glitter a bit. If you've ever seen one of these, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It would kind of have this kind of like flashy type of cover, and it's a bootleg. You can tell because it's got this like kind of this glittery type flashy cover. You know what I'm talking about, guys? Hate some of their See, I like the packaging with Mill Creek now. I actually like the early stuff. Remember those cardboard cases that would come in like a cardboard box, which really, when you think about it, pretty eco-friendly, ahead of their time. Uh, so on your own list, unsubscribe once and lose the movie. Is that serious? That sucks. Like that really sucks. That's like, but PlayStation does the same damn thing. Oh, you can play all these games with PlayStation Plus, but if you get rid of your PlayStation Plus, those games are gone. Xbox Gold, however, if you get rid of your Xbox Gold because you can't afford it anymore, and you got the games downloaded, the Xbox games downloaded, you can play them. There's not an issue. Fall or spring. Yeah, good time. Not a lot of visitors. Make sure you go to what's it called? Akaraba? I'm pronouncing it wrong, but it's the electronics district of Japan. Really cool. I was watching an episode, like an early G4 episode. I think it might have been on Icons, and and these and they were talking about like Dreamcast and how well the Dreamcast was doing, and then the PlayStation 2 came out, and DVDs became a thing, and you could basically, and all of a sudden, like the PlayStation 2 could play DVDs, the Dreamcast couldn't play DVDs, and it literally killed the system. So physical media killed the Dreamcast, one of my favorite systems. Uh, but all of a sudden, I'm not sure if it's Akaraba, Haraba, something like that. It's a big place in Tokyo, Japan, where it's called the Electronics District, and so like suddenly there's all these DVD like shops popping up around there, right next to like to the video game stores and stuff like that. And Dreamcast realized they'd lost Japan. Like right then, he realized, oh no, we made a really big mistake. We just lost Japan. We can't survive without Japan, and that they eventually became a software company. Sega did after that. Hashtag Dreamcast 2. Uh, but yeah, I mean, so you're going to PlayStation 5, indie over the Xbox. Whatever. What's the Xbox called? What's the new Xbox called? Xbox One X. G4 TV went off the network, yeah, years ago actually, but I watched like old episodes of it. It's worth it, man. Trust me. One of my Xbox Series X, thank you, Joe. One of my favorite things was well, I wanted to go to London. I wanted to go to London all my life, and a few years back, my better half kind of surprised me. She said, "We're not going to buy a lot in the next few months. We're going to save up. I got tickets to London. Um, we're going to finally go to London where you've always wanted to go your entire life." It was hands down the greatest trip of my life, and I cannot wait to go back there again. Utterly adore London, and if I could live there, I would. But uh, but that's the thing. If you want to go to Japan, that's your big place. You want to go there. Uh, it's worth it. The saving up, like the struggling, it's missing out on a few things right now. It'll be worth it, man, because this is like it's your bucket list. It's your dream. That's what you go for. So, question, really quick question here. Since the PlayStation and Xbox were both mentioned, both of them are coming out supposedly in the Christmas season. It looks like Indy has chosen to stay with PlayStation. What's everybody's thoughts? You want to do Xbox? You want to do PlayStation? Do you guys game at all? Do you like if but here, even if you don't, I'm gonna ask. I'm gonna give this to you. Ask this question to you, and hopefully some of you guys will answer it. If you are to choose, if you even if you don't play right now, uh, what would you choose? Did I get to see a show? I didn't get to go see a show. Actually, I was supposed to go to not a show, but there was a BFI like film festival going on. They had like directors like showing their films and stuff like that. Uh, so we were going to go there, but I didn't get the chance. My better half actually got sick for one day that we were going to go. You don't came got no Azard. Well, that's fair. That's honest. So you're honest, Dave. See, I'm Nintendo, but for like the gaming stuff like that, the bigger stuff, I usually just buy both of them. But that gets expensive. No, both of them have a physical media drive, Warlock. Uh, but both of them have an optional. So the PlayStation 5 has a cheaper non-physical media drive, and it has a slightly more expensive one that actually, for the first time, because PlayStation 4 didn't have this. Press my thumb, look, but didn't have it. But 4K UHD is going to be in the PlayStation 5. Asteroids was amazing. I love Asteroids. I love Tempest. That was my favorite game when I was younger. But the Xbox did. So hopefully they'll both still have it. Xbox is going to have like a cheaper version that's like not going to have a disk drive and the regular version that will. Hey Keith, welcome, man. You're always welcome, man. This is totally what it's for. Hey cult members, welcome to the newest cult member here, Keith. So this is where I stop, Keith, just so you know, to let people welcome you here. To let you know that this is a welcoming place, and you're definitely. It's a pretty free flow one, as opposed to what we normally do. We're just talking about some random stuff. I made some announcements about my Patreon channel like earlier on, and I'm super excited about that because it's kind of like you ever done cat? It's pretty free flow. You know, anybody can ask stuff that they want to. We keep it pretty light here. We talk about physical media, movies. We get into some geeky stuff like collecting. I just mentioned like the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox. Currently, it's PS3. PS3 is better than PS4 actually. That's I know some people are going to say that, but I'm going to hate that. But it's true. But for me, this generation, PlayStation may have had some of the better games, like for sure. But Xbox was a better system. I don't know. Don't don't like pile up on me. But Xbox could play CDs. It seems like a simple thing, but the PlayStation 4 couldn't. It could play 4K UHDs, and that was so the Xbox Series S got to be my very first 4K player, and I actually have like a nice little collection of 4K discs, thanks to the Xbox that I probably wouldn't have got otherwise because. There wasn't a ton of like 4K players showing up in my stores. Now, NES is better. Well, I do like NES. I do like Nintendo. That's. And somebody said that they like Tom Nook, and that there's. Tony's Stewart. Sony. it's gone back and forth with these companies, but right now Sony's at the point where the PlayStation 4 did so well, did like so extremely well, that it seems like they're slacking off a bit. So I'm hoping to see that change when the PS5 comes out. Did you have many like 4Ks, Indy? Because I know we've mentioned this before. Because I know you get the Vinegar Syndrome like package, right? So you got, I'm guessing if you had the choice, you got like the Tammy the T-Rex 4K, and you definitely got the Rad 4K. You only have Rad? You didn't get Tammy the T-Rex when that was 4K? Because I know you had a choice, right? From here on out, Indy, whenever you see movies that are similar in price, and there's Blu-ray and 4K, future-proof. As soon as we knew we had a Xbox Series S, we didn't have a 4K TV at the time. We knew we were getting one. So, and it was on Black Friday. So what we did was we went out and we looked around and we saw movies that were the Blu-ray and the 4Ks were pretty much the exact same price. So we just started buying, you know what, there's only $1 difference here. We're going to start buying the 4K editions with the Blu-ray because until we get it, we'll watch the Blu-ray of it. It was the next day that we got a 4K TV, like that we actually ordered one, because there was a big sale. Anybody here? As many people here, like got onto the 4K train? Obviously, like when a lot of people started collecting, basically there wasn't like a lot of 4K stuff like initially, and it kind of like a lot of it seemed like we were getting recycling some of the stuff that you're getting before. But now that we're getting like Shout Factory's putting out 4Ks like the Deer Hunter, Arrow Video's got like Flash Gordon and Pitch Black coming out. Vinegar Syndrome's got 2 coming out and it's got like 3 more on the way. Like, and I think it's just a matter of time before Severin. You just started 4K. You chose the right time because companies are really starting to come aboard. Right now, it was a time where basically, people weren't sure, and there's a lot of misinformation that came out when it came to 4K, and people thought, okay, well, if I don't have a gigantic TV, if my TV is not 80 inches, I'm not gonna know the difference. One of the biggest things that you realize when you get 4K is it's not just about like the picture. Well, aside from it, you're gonna have a wider color gamut, so then that's gonna be obviously more noticeable with a bigger picture, 55, 65 inch screen, right? That's it's kind of a sweet spot. You can go higher, but still, it depends on how big your place is. But it's also going to upgrade your sound, your audio. It's going to upgrade. And the 4K discs that you get if they're well done, like anything, are going to do like a lot of. It's going to look like movies in theater. So Keith, if you weren't around when like movies like say House by the Cemetery or Daughters of Darkness came out, or a Zombie or Maniac, hey, welcome back, Brian. Then it's going to show. You're going to see it now, way closer to what it looked like when people that went to the theater and saw it got to see it, and that's the biggest thing. It's not that the picture is going to be shinier. It's not that the picture is going to be brighter. Lord knows, one of the mistakes we found out from Blu-rays is that as gorgeous some of them look, some of them were artificially brightened as well. So we're only like for certain ones really getting to see like the real, like the color of the films like coming out now. So we're seeing like really good color grading. I really talk this techie most of the time, so if that bothers you, I apologize. But you picked the right time. Blue Underground has gone hardcore, like someone just mentioned there. I think it's Warlock with 4K. It's like big time. Where's it indie? Did anybody see the Evil Dead? Has anybody heard about the Evil Dead controversy on Blu-ray? I just had to put that out there because it's hilarious. So Sam Raimi, when he put like Evil Dead out, controversy. We'll say it like that. We'll put it in quotes. When he put it out, like on Blu-ray, right, 2010, and he did that, people are starting to realize that, hey, there's a, like he said, oh, there's a couple, like there's lighting errors here, or there's, you could see a guy like Rob Tapert like in the background in one scene where they're going over the bridge. So he said, and like, well, I guess I can kind of fix that now. Like it wasn't like a George Lucas type thing where it's like, let's put some extra aliens in here. Let's change who did well, let's change like the plot of the film by saying who shot first. No, it was literally him saying, yeah, let's like fix some minor things because it's a low budget film. Well, we can fix the day to night scenes. We can like take a guy out of a scene when it's a crew guy that's just there. But apparently, some people thought that by doing that, that was like, oh my God, how can you do that? That's, it's, the movie is totally ruined now. Yeah, Titty Price on guns, walkie talkies. No, can you all the zombies are now being played by, I don't know, Elf. But no, it's exactly the same. Blue Underground is still releasing not so much DVD as much anymore. I don't really know, but I know they're going hardcore with their 4Ks, and of course they're doing Blu-rays still. A lot of companies are going out. DVD is getting, it's expensive to produce, but no, the way they've always been. See, that's the thing, though, Keith. He hasn't changed. That's the thing. He hasn't changed anything with the film. Now, like if they said, like, oh look, they took Evil Dead and they changed the ending, or they took out like some of the creepy scenes, or they took out all the blood and put some digital blood in there, I would be super mad about that. But if somebody said, well, those scenes that are supposed to be in the nighttime are now lit to be in the nighttime, okay, that makes sense. That makes perfect sense to me. Yes, I did hear the Evil Dead musical years ago. I had to get it through nefarious purposes, but I did. I'm a big musical fan. I actually, as you guys know, I was going to be an actor, so I did a lot of musicals and stuff like that. I can't sing to save my life though, so just so you know, my dad, my mom, excellent singers. I think my sisters can sing too. Me, no musical talent at all. Like it totally skipped me. It's like it avoided me like the plague. So they could sing, but I was the actor, so I was proud of that. The reading, see the Star Wars thing, I agree, totally annoying. Oh no, I think DVD is going to keep going around for quite a while, Alan. Basically, because it's really cheap to produce, and it's really easy to get into get into WalMarts and stuff like that. Are my kids musical? More than me. That's something we never really kind of got into. My eldest likes me. My youngest did dance classes and played piano. So yeah, definitely more musical than me. My eldest has always been interested in music. And by the way, my youngest was a BTS fan before that was a thing over here. Before they became big over here. Are there any TV shows out on 4K? Well, Northern Lights, the only TV show that I got that's out on 4K. There are TV shows out on 4K, but I got Westworld season 1. At the time, I just got my 4K system, and being one of those noobs that was getting that stuff, I picked up a lot of Christopher Nolan stuff. It's kind of like when you get in the Criterion for the first time, and you're getting all those Wes Anderson films, right? So when it comes to 4K, you got to when you go in first, you pick up the Christopher Nolan. You get the Dark Knight trilogy. You got to get Inception. You just got to get those films, and of course Westworld, because Westworld, it does look really good in 4K, and it's just such a good. It's ending now, unfortunately. I really liked Westworld. Sometimes DVDs get scratched just by watching them. Yeah, I still have a lot of DVDs in my collection, and but nowadays, if I can find a cheap Blu-ray as well, your first 4K was Watchmen. Good choice. Did you get the ultimate cut? With the Voyage of the Dawn, not Voyage Dawn Treader. With the pirate cartoon portion of it with it. Star Trek The the original series is on Blue. Dave, I have that actually. I've got Star Trek The original series on Blu-ray. I've got the first 4 seasons of Next Generation on Blu-ray, and I got the rest of them. I got on DVD that I have. It'll be interesting to see if any classic TV goes to 4K. And with that being said, I buy a lot of TV shows on DVD. Hey, Kay, welcome, man. Uh, so, and I just got used to buying certain TV shows on DVD, so I really haven't upgraded certain ones to like the Blu-ray. Like I picked up Castle Rock for like it was like $10, uh, and it was a really interesting. I got to finish it though, because it was interesting, but I found the first episode was a bit of a trudge to get through. Anybody else watch Castle Rock? The second season's out on DVD and Blu-ray now, but I haven't picked it up. Do I continue to show tone overstay the welcome? Well, the Simpsons is one that, yeah, there you go. Yeah. Do you want to get the DVDs all scratched? It isn't expensive. Like, I picked up like the Y50 set. I've got to be very careful with that one because obviously what I did with mine, and I don't know if you've done this with yours or not, was I taken a lot of my DVDs and I put them in sleeves and trays and for TV. And that way I'm not taking them out of like cases and stuff all the time. I haven't seen Perry Mason yet, so I hear it's different. I hear like some people say some great stuff about it. I hear it's very different. Like it's a very different Perry Mason. Picked up Dukes of Hazzard. I got Dukes of Hazzard complete series. Yeehaw! Them Duke balls right again. Yeah, there's the thing. Like the price point for TV like TVs, it's such an easy, and that's why it works so well. Well, Keith, she doesn't have to worry quite yet, because what we it's like we've only heard like a little bit about like what's going on with the whole Disney thing. Um, so your wife collects like a lot of Disney stuff. Does she like the classic little animation stuff, or is she collecting like the new like the newer like the new Lion King or stuff like that? So what's the big announcement? Okay, okay. Uh, Basically, it's that I will be having some exclusive shows on my Patreon channel finally, and for that, my better half has decided to do a show with me, a review show that we're going to be doing together. And the very first episode is going to be taped tomorrow because we watched the movie tonight, and it's going to be Dr. Jekyll's Dungeon of Doom. So if you're ever on my Patreon, we have finally have stuff to be on it for, and I'll be reviewing the streaming services as well on there, which should be a lot of fun. I'm doing an Acorn TV versus BritBox review, and that's going to be interesting. The old classics and the new classics. Do we know exactly what it is that's kind? Because I missed I saw the headlines for the Disney news. So they're not doing 4Ks. Are they like they're not doing 4Ks for the classic ones, or they're not doing 4Ks for the absence set is actually a thought. We might actually do that. How many Disney 4Ks before they're putting into the vault forever? Disney's okay, perfect, Tyson. Disney's not upgrading to 4K anymore, but physical media will still be available. So are they not doing any 4K at all? Did Alice in Wonderland? I don't know, but that would be you know, did Pinocchio get a 4K? Because Pinocchio is one of the most gorgeous Disney films that was ever done. The neat thing about the BritBox versus Acorn is that me and my better half gonna be Cisco maneuvering it, where we're gonna each have our own opinion on it, and whether we agree or not, that'll be kind of the fun of the show. They were stolen. I hate that, man. I hate when that happens. I had some stuff Keith stolen when I was a few years back, and it bummed me out. And stuff that I was never able to replace. nowadays, if I I've put so much work into this collection here that if anybody ever like took anything, I would be like Liam Neeson in Taken. So that's how it would go. Uh, but she can still you're going 4K. There's still some 4K Disney out there that she can get. The rest of them, you can like get like on Blu-ray. But just like get her to focus on getting the stuff that she wants to get right now that's already out in 4K that she can enjoy. I think the Lion King original that was put out in 4K. There's a few different ones that came out. I'm gonna have to pick up some because I don't want to miss out. I want to have some Disney in my collection in 4K before they all go out. Disney's really sneaky at doing this, aren't they? Like we're not putting it in 4K. Like 2 years later, they might say, well, we might do a couple 4K. We're gonna call this the Super Platinum Diamond Gold True Jupiler Collection. It's the vault closing commercials all over again. Yeah, they put you gotta take it from kind of like their point of view too. They put a lot of money into this, and for anybody that understands how the whole streaming service thing works, uh, right, streaming is not a money making venture. You're not going to make quick money on nobody that's doing streaming service. By the way, right now, in Netflix, I'm including Netflix in this, are ever going to make a streaming like money on streaming services initially. It takes years. I mean, close to like say a decade before you're seeing any money at all from from an actual streaming service. It it takes a long time, and money that goes in usually gets put right back into it. So the physical media things are still going to be very important. Is there just been the VCI version of Canon, the complete series, versus the CBS version? I don't know. I mean, I don't think so, as far as I know. I know that when VCI put out like their editions of certain shows, like I got like the Equalizer, for instance, right on CBS, the CBS edition of Equalizer, but VCI put out a complete collection of Equalizer, and their set had like extras like discs and features, even had an extra like series on there. And I kind of want to buy the Equalizer again to get the VCI edition because there's a big like box set that came out. The same thing happened with In Search Of too, when VCI put it out. Oh, speaking of which, I got to ask you guys a question. I was asked here earlier on tonight, and I didn't know the answer to it. Uh, Hold on a second. I'll turn this down. Anyway, I gotta get my better half. My kid Wes has started up a YouTube channel, and it is, if anybody that likes the gaming stuff, is starting up a gaming YouTube channel. So my youngest child, so super proud right now. Uh, so I'm going to give you the name of the channel, and I would appreciate if you're a gaming fan or you just like my channel, just check it out. So, and it is, I'm going to spell it here. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go to the message here, and it is called. So I'm going to put it right here. He's doing Let's Plays right now, but he might be doing reviews afterwards. I'm going to see if I can get this on here right. I do apologize. So this is the name of the channel. So there you go. Because my youngest name is Wesley. Oh, Warlock, have a great evening there, man. The content's hard because Disney's got a name on it. For an additional $30, yeah. So I would, and I'm going to say this right now because I'm a dad, and I'm a proud dad. I would take it as a, definitely like as a favor to me to at least to check out West's channel when you can. Um, and if you know anybody that likes gaming stuff, uh, I'm a proud dad and a YouTuber that has just spawned another YouTuber. So check out Lock West Monster. No, that's the thing. Like you don't own anything when you're streaming something. It's like, yeah, I said never have the booklets. You're not gonna have the background information. Like with Apple Plus, you'll get. Thank you, Shadow. I appreciate that, man. And Wes might actually jump in here too. So, so at some point, so I'm sure he'll appreciate it as well. And it's for the casual consumer. But even for the casual consumer, did I ever check out Arrows? Well, we don't have it here in Canada, but it's a UK service. But so I haven't been able to check it out yet. Because here's the thing: when it's a streaming service, they can take it down anytime. They can say there's music rights issues. They can change that. There can just be films can be considered problematic or something like that. Yep. Me and my me and my son used to play like Minecraft together all the time. So I was not very good at it. So whenever there'd be like the zombies and stuff coming, and I'd be trying to get up, and even that exactly. If you watch the movie, when I saw Splash when I was a kid in the theater, as a young kid, I was actually super excited. Wow, there's that Johanna's butt in Splash. If you watch it on Disney Plus, yeah, that's been digitally altered, so you don't see it. Thank you, Cubic Lover. I actually haven't got a chance to subscribe yet because I don't have like a. I'm not signed in here. Welcome, Logan. Alvin, thank you. He'll be excited. And he's been working hard to get this channel started for a while now. We've talked about it a few times when it comes on, whenever we talk, and he's got a computer kind of like the one I got, so he's been just getting everything straightened away. So it'll be kind of cool. Like us Pluto TV Minecraft channel. So you might like it, Alan. You definitely check it out. Stream is good for new release you know nothing about. Good point, IB. The thing is that streaming can never take the place of physical media. Streaming can take the place of your local cable stations, though. 100%. That's where it's going. That's what streaming. People initially were very scared that streaming was going to like, oh no, now that streaming's here, nobody's going to buy movies anymore. And a few people actually went out and they sold a bunch of their movies. They sold their whole collections. They said, yeah, well, I can stream everything on Netflix and that now. And then they started to realize, holy crap, my favorite movie just got taken off Netflix, and I don't have it to watch when I want to anymore. So there's nothing wrong with streaming stuff as for casual viewing or to find out stuff that you haven't seen and that you might want to buy, but it's not something that can take the place. Uh, it does, but I think I don't think that the West is too concerned about getting like the too many subscribers. Well, like right away, like he's just having fun with it. So Logan, check out West's channel. So many times, Dave, I've heard of Netflix removing a show. I've said it on here before, but I'll mention it again. The very first time when I said I was going to get Netflix, right? So it was I got a PlayStation 3 and Netflix was on there. It was like, yeah, I got a free month. Remember those when you got the free month thing? So I got the free month. We watched like this full anime series, and I noticed that all the Stephen J. Canal shows, like Wise Guy, Silk Stockings, Booker, 21 Jump Street, every single one of them was on was right there on Netflix. So immediately I signed up for a year. Bam! I'm gonna watch every Stephen J. Canal show that I used to watch when I was young, when I was a kid. I want to watch Wise Guy again. Let's see if they were able to get the Dead Dog Records episodes there. And then literally the next day, every single Stephen J. Canal show, Wise Guy, Renegade, all of them were gone off Netflix, and they haven't been back since. I think they're on, like, some of them are on Amazon Prime now. A triple feature. Have a great. Thank you for coming in, by the way, man. Have a great, and thank you for being my latest Patreon supporter, because you're gonna get the new show. Hopefully, you like the new show, because I'm very excited to be working with my better half on something. The killer thing about Tubi is that there's an insane amount of commercials with Tubi. I was I really wanted to see Stepfather 3, because I wanted to, like, watch. I still like want to do, like, franchise videos, right? So one of the videos I want to do is like the Stepfather franchise. So I can find Stepfather 1 and 2, but Stepfather 3 is harder to find. And obviously it's not Terry Quinn; it's the guy that took over from John By on the Waltons. So I finally found Stepfather 3 on Tubi, but there were commercials, so many commercials, so very many commercials. It felt like I was watching like 5 minutes, and then I'd be like, okay, I guess I can get a tea, and then I'd come back and I'd start again. Uh, Prime's your favorite streaming site? Prime is some of the better stuff. Um, and Prime with their channel add-ons now actually been really cool. Shudder's really good too. If you're a horror fan, Keith, you might want to check out Shudder. I hear a lot of good things about a movie called The Host, but I haven't seen it. I don't mean The Host like the 2006 one. What I'm talking about is like the new Host, the one that's kind of like a cross between Unfriended and, I don't know, The Exorcist. Something that's what I've heard. Alan, you have a great night there, man. Thanks for coming in, especially for a second time. I appreciate it. Yeah, like you're saying, I'm going to watch this show, and you watch this show, and then you turn around like, oh, the other show's gone that I'm going to watch. I wish that Netflix would put out more physical media, because I would definitely buy buy some of their shows. Like, there's a lot that still haven't come out. No, not the Korean one, though. That is a really good film. For me right now, well, I'm not going to tell you right now, because I'm going to be doing like streaming reviews on all those different streaming channels. So, and I will be reviewing every single one of them eventually. So every app channel that you see that Netflix that we have here, even the reality channel one, that's going to be painful. But I'll review that too, uh, which means I got to dive into those. That's a good. Nobody's really mentioned that, Elvin, but that's a really good point. Oh, Disney owns Fox, and they're doing a Fox streaming service. Does this mean that they're gonna go back when it comes to like Fox 4Ks? Are we going to see some like classic films like in the Fox library now not get a 4K, because they're going to be pushing like a Fox streaming service when we do know that's coming? Uh, I thought initially that was going to be part of their of Hulu, but apparently it's going to be its own thing. 4K is going to be saved by like Sony and the collector's market again. You guys right here, the collector's market, are you're part of the thing that's keeping like physical media alive and ensuring the path and route that it goes down in. It's not a big surprise that we've seen more and more companies like 4K the new Laserdisc. I don't think so, but because we have enough people to support it. Like unlike Laserdisc, which is sad, because Laserdisc was good. Laserdisc was good. I really like Laserdisc, but I think 4K now is here to stay, Logan, and I think it's because the niche companies that weren't initially supporting it are starting to support it, and most people realize that streaming in 4K, it's not really 4K. Yeah, it's not even close to 4K. You watch Planet Earth 2, and you got the 4K. Hey, Brian, on 4K, and then you watch the streaming version of Planet Earth 2. You tell the difference right away. You can tell the difference. The bandwidth just isn't there to have like Netflix Ultra, Netflix 4K, actually be giving you like 4K quality picture and sound. Like they're working on it. That's the whole thing behind 8K is to get 4K streaming to be a viable option. But right now, at this point, it's not. People think 8K is about 8K disc. Not at all. 8K is significantly going to be about streaming. It's going to be about streaming, but more than anything, it's going to be about the one thing, like one of the things that drives more money than anything else: video games. Video games are like kind of key. Video games and porn. So those are the two things when you're looking at like things that are kind of like throwing, like kind of pushing, like the next generation, whatever like physical media is going to be. That's what you look towards. You look towards what video games are doing. You look towards what adult films are doing. I was thinking tuna website. Have a good night there, Al. I know about stinky tuna, but I'm not big. I'm not a huge fan actually. That's on the. Oh, you said the Friday thing. Good. I'm good. Did you pick it up? I pre-ordered it from Amazon. I know a lot of people pre-ordered it from Shout so they could get the lithographs. I almost got it, but I was going to switch it over, but I couldn't. Physical media is the way to go, in my opinion. So, wow, we've gotten so much in such a short period of time. That was the first show of mine. So the Friday 13th was the first one you saw. Well, you picked a good one because I'm a huge Friday 13th fan. I'm probably one of the biggest Friday the 13th fans you're ever going to see, Keith. I hope when the Scream Factory put out that Halloween box a few years back, you're able to get that one as well. That was really, really good. And there's so much stuff that's just not streaming. I mean, like, when it comes to, and like, there's certain things that come out, like, when Vinegar Syndrome put out Rad, remember when the whole big Rad thing was the first, like, Vinegar Syndrome's, like, big 4K. My favorite Jason. Richard Brooker, I think, from part 3. I really like. I like them all, but Richard Brooker, I love Kane. I got to meet Kane Hodder, by the way. I met him in person. Really nice guy. Oh, he's super guy. There's actually a picture. Me and my better half went to a convention, and we got to meet Amanda Weiss, Kane Hodder, Robert Englund, and Bruce Campbell. So we went. There's like a Bruce Campbell, Robert Englund, Kane Hodder, like group picture that you could take with the three of them. So in the picture, I'm standing by Robert Englund, and he's got his Freddy glove on, and I'm like that. And Kane Hodder is, by the way, he's a very strong man. He's like choking my better half, like kind of from behind, and she's got this really like terrified look on her face, right? And but the thing is, Kane Hodder really wants to make sure you get your money's worth when you do the pictures. So when Kane Hodder does a choke, yeah, I think you did see a picture. Kane Hodder's really doing a bit of a choke there. So my better half was kind of terrified because Kane Hodder was kind of wasn't going to hurt her, but he was definitely choking. She definitely felt it. Your always favorites Kane Hodder. Well, Kane Hodder did like a lot of the reason for me, Keith, that when I talk about Booker and guys like that, the early ones, is because I'm a bigger fan of like the Jason's Alive as opposed to like Zombie Jason. Although 7 is really good, and of course 6 with C.J. Graham. C.J. Graham is amazing in the role, and he wasn't the initial guy to be in it, by the way. There was another actor in a couple scenes, and C.J. was hired because the other actor didn't work out. But Kane Hodder came in it for first in part 7, then Jason Takes Manhattan, then Jason goes to hell in Jason X, and sadly, he wasn't put there for Freddy versus Jason, which is probably better because it wasn't really good portrayal of Jason, which is a shame. Once the box set comes out, the Friday 13th box set comes out, I will be definitely doing a review of the set, and I'll be going through all the Friday 13th films again. I will be giving you my list of my favorite Jasons, and my films in order. Is this stream? What streaming service? Full Metal Jacket is getting a 4K. They're slowly like rolling out like all the Kubricks, right? Which is good. I mean, like we got the Nolans out there. You know, Kubrick's definitely a director that deserves to have all his stuff put out in 4K. And didn't Nolan do a lot of his stuff? I got in between a conversation between Kubrick Lover and Soul Baron. Didn't even realize it. But yeah, libraries are a great place to get some of this stuff. You know what I just missed out on, guys? You're gonna kick me. You're gonna take away part of my cool horror fan. But we didn't get to see it because my better half wasn't feeling well, and I was working a lot. But do you know what just played at my local drive-in that I just missed out on? Are you ready to tell me I'm an idiot? Because you're gonna tell me I'm an idiot, and I'll deserve it. The Exorcist and Nightmare on Elm Street played as a double feature for 3 days at my drive-in. But because unfortunately work and stuff like that, I did not get to go see it. So yes, I'm an idiot. Okay, you're not wrong. I know. I'm like last year they played Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Friday the 13th. I was there, man. I was there, and unfortunately, when it came to Texas Chainsaw Massacre, they played the remake. But I'm hoping they'll show it again. They'll show some stuff again. Right now, I don't have the bones to do it right now, but if it's still playing the weekend, Goonies and another movie are playing at the drive-in. Let me find out here. We have a drive-in here, Cape Breton Drive-In. I'm going to see if I can find it. So let me go to my Facebook. I'll let you know what's actually going on there, so you can know what's going on in my drive-in. If you got a drive-in near you, by the way, guys, I do recommend that you check out the stuff that they have there. The thing that annoys me that I don't like, so Goonies and Gremlins is playing at my drive-in now. I did already see Goonies in. After that, August the 10th to the 12th, they're going to be playing Back to the Future and Jaws. Kind of want to be there for that. I really love Jaws. But their latest announcement, and I am super excited about this, is that hello, Cape Breton. We're considering a horror double feature with one of the Evil Dead movies paired with another unrelated film. Since a poll will only let us choose two options, let's get feedback. Do you want Evil Dead 2 Dead by Dawn, or Army of Darkness? Oh, I want Evil Dead. Now there. Do I not have a cool drive-in? That's one of the cool things about the place that I live. We do have a cool drive-in here. It's Jacobs Burns. Oh, nice. Suspiria. What my thoughts on the new Suspiria? My thoughts are, it was okay. It's not as good as the original. Oh, I got to be there for if Black Christmas shows, 1974 one. They can like double feature it with like the new Black Christmas, and they can leave the 2006 one in the garbage. But I know a lot of people love that film though. The one that kind of hurt a bit, but that I went to the theater to watch like, but they had a digital movie film festival at my theater in St. John's, and we were watching like we got like the big pass. We went to see like almost everything, like Big Trouble in Little China. Went to see like Thunderball, On Her Majesty's Secret Service, a whole bunch of films, right? Then we came in to see The Thing, and my better half had never seen it, so we're starting to watch the film, and my better half's a huge animal lover. Remember that. That's going to be important. But you get to a scene very early in the film where they bring in this dog, and they bring the dog in with the other dogs. And what happens there? Yeah. And then my better half walked out. So I had to go, and I went with her because she was really upset. And now I own the thing anyway, so not a big deal. If my cousin's ever visiting and it comes into the theater, we'll go see it together. But I don't want to put her through like something's going to stress her out. 25 new Japanese films. Did you see when like I'm guessing nobody else here's gonna love this but me. Kamen Rider did like they showed like Kamen Rider live on like on YouTube and on like a channel. Like it was a big Kamen Rider one. So I had to see that because I'm a huge Kamen Rider fan. They showed a film. Bruce Campbell's there for the weekend. That is cool. Bruce Campbell's cool. Bruce Campbell really is Bruce Campbell. Ever notice that? Like he's like, yeah, that he really is like that. He really kind of he does dress like that. And it's cool. It works for him. Black Christmas, Keith. In case you don't know, because you're newer, so you probably don't know. Black Christmas 1974 is my favorite movie. It's it's a movie that actually made me fall in love with film and actually want to know, like, not just what was on the screen, but what was going on behind the scenes of that screen. 25 new Japanese movies. That's pretty cool. There's been like a few like movie festivals and stuff like that come online recently, because of we can't get them out there. Comic Cons too have done like online things, and even like some like shows they put like together like some of the old soap operas, and they had like a whole week of like cast members coming on to do stuff. When my kids were young, because I'm a twisted dad, Black Christmas was my go-to Christmas Eve movie. That was I'm twisted that way. Thunderball. See, Thunderball's not one of my favorites, Kubrick Lover, but I do like Thunderball because I got to say, for the the work, the underwater work. I really appreciate what they did that. Rico Browning, of course, who of course played the Gill Man, and Creature from the Black Lagoon was the guy that did the underwater work for Thunderball, and he's an Olympic swimmer, fantastic. You did the full Lord of the Rings. I don't think I've seen the one, Amy. That's what my better half. I got to tell my better half about. She's a huge Lord of the Rings fan. Because fist bump for Black Christmas. What type of horror does she like, Kay? Because like it all depends. I mean, like for like if is it like is she in a slasher or like a lot of kids now are more into the supernatural stuff or the found footage stuff. Has anybody seen The Host? I really want to watch The Host. The new Shutter one, where they're on like the video camera, and I think someone gets possessed or something like that. It's freaky. There's like this creepy uh, face thing going on. That was Rico Browning. He did a lot of stuff. Kubrick, a little bit of everything. See, it's like depending on how old she is. Like when my kids, I wish I'd found it like for them when they were young. But The Gate and like Pardon the Pun is a perfect gateway film for like for kids that are starting to watch horror films, and of course Monster Squad and stuff like that. But if your kid's older too, or she's watched or he or she's watched a lot, then you're looking at there's so many choices. My youngest can't watch The Exorcist; it just freaks her right out. Yeah, you don't want to, no torture, no hostile, no. Yeah, you don't want to show any hostile or any of that type of stuff. The one with Steven Dorff, yeah, because it's such a cool like, and it works, and I like The Gate. I still like The Gate now, but The Gate works on a whole different level when it's shown to a kid at the right age, like say you're at your tweens or your teens, because The Gate, like it focuses on like a lot of the stuff that that kids are scared of. If like there's the death of a parent, the death of a pet, kind of not fitting in, being different. There's so much like the gate is when it comes to like actually being like a good like gateway entry for kids. There's so many levels and layers to that film that work a hell of a lot better when you're younger than when you get older. When you're older, you face a lot of these things and stuff like that. But when you're young and you're seeing this for the first time, and you're like this, and he's seeing his dead mom, and the animals gets and the dog dies. So yeah, there's a whole lot of stuff in there that'll hit you harder at a younger age. The Martyrs, actually, I love Martyrs, the original Martyrs. It's a tough one. It's a tough watch for some people, and I completely get that, and it's definitely controversial, and it definitely makes you think. That's like Mother. I love the movie Mother, and I acknowledge that Mother is not a film that everybody's going to love. It's a pretty on the nose film, but I found it like kind of odd that some people still don't really kind of get the whole like the analogy, but it because it seemed really on the nose to me with that film. No, no, Mother, the one that was done by God, what's his name again? What's his name? It's killing me. Oh, Michael, welcome. Uh, People are gonna be tired here. No, no, it's okay. My Patreon is going to have some exclusive content and some exclusive shows, and the very first one that's going on to the Patreon channel is going to be a review show. That's not just me, but it's going to be me and my often not seen better half that are going to be reviewing films together exclusively to the Patreon channel. And the first one is Dr. Jekyll's Dungeon of Doom as chosen by her. We will be taping that tomorrow. We're also going to be doing a review of all the streaming services as well. and including one where we're going to talk about Acorn TV versus BritBox, and I think it's going to be kind of fun. Midsummer reminds me a lot of. It's got a feel of Wicker Man to it. Uh, that's is that too obvious, like of analogy? Human Centipede, I just couldn't get into. I just it was nothing there. You're not a fan of Aronofsky? A lot of people aren't. Like that's the thing. When I say I like Mother, but I get why a lot of people like really don't get into it. I get it. I definitely understand. Well, if you think that your first Human Centipede, I'm not sure if it's that second one, Kubrick, but second one, holy crap, man. Exorcist never scared me. Not quite sure why, but Exorcist was one that never really. Oh, yeah, Mother's by Aronofsky. Exorcist never freaked me out. Maybe I didn't see it at the right time. Maybe I'm just not. Maybe I just heard too much, or I'd overhyped it in my head. I was more scared. This is the sacrilege right now, literally. Uh, I was more scared by Exorcist three than The Exorcist. But again, that's just me. Everybody's different in the way that they take it. My better half uh, was definitely more scared. My youngest was so freaked out by The Exorcist, like he can never watch it again. But no, things like Omen, I like. There's certain parts of Omen that kind of like unnerve me a little bit. But the stuff that scares me, the stuff that really scares me, and always has over the years, I got more scared by some of the like the slasher, the home invasion type stuff, because for me that's really real. It You don't have to suspend your belief very much to think of three strangers coming to your house in the middle of the night, and it's like so I definitely can't do that, and like just and coming in and killing you. Ill is another one. Them really good. I probably really need to revisit The Exorcist as well. I probably should have saw it in in theater. I kind of kicked myself for now, but we really it was really it's been a really busy week for us here, and it's been a bit of a rough week for me. So work's been it's been challenging, very challenging. Purge one was hilarious in an unusual way. I like it, but it's not. I don't think it's a really great film. But the other Purge films are fantastic. They're action films, but they're actually really cool. Did you watch when you say funny games like Kubrick? Are you talking about the like? Cause I know that Michael Haneke he did both of them, but do you mean like the original one, or do you mean the remake with Michael Pitt? I've seen them both, and I will be honest with you, both of them are really good. It, everybody I was going to say, well, the original, of course, is the greatest one, but I actually enjoyed both. Oh, so someone else. I think that both of them were, maybe it helped that the director was doing it, but same director was doing it. But Funny Games, no matter which one you watch, it works. And there's a scene in it, and I won't say anything about it, but there's a scene closer to the end of the film. Don't give it away, guys, if you've seen the film, that really is either you're going to get it right away or it is going to frustrate the hell out of you when it happens. But I would be interested in you letting me know when you watch it what you think, because I don't think it's something you're going to be mad on. It's going to give you a strong reaction one way or another. Brian, you're preaching to the choir there. Times have been tough this year. Companies closing down left and right. Like mail being super hard to get to. Oh, Tim Roth. Yeah. When I say Michael Pitt, like he played the one of the two kids. Um, he's the blonde guy. He was in like. Did you watch the show Hannibal? Like the TV series? Because the villain in Hannibal, like in season two, I think. Really, he's in season one too, I think, but he's in season two, like mostly. There's a villain. I can't remember his name right now, but it's played by Michael Pitt, who's on Boardwalk Empire as well. Michael Pitt is one of those guys. Thanks, Chris. Is one of those fantastic actors. Unfortunately, he's one of those troubled actors that is always clashing. Like he's good, and he's like one of those guys. I don't know if he knows he's good, or if he just has like a kind of a work method that really rubs a lot of people wrong. But he was supposed to be in Boardwalk Empire, by the way, Chris, much longer than he was, and with Hannibal, he got recast, and the other person, I'll be honest with you, is not as good as Michael Pitt, because Michael Pitt is really, really good. Yeah, like, and it's like not just that. Like you look through like a lot of different shows and movies. That's happened a few times. I love the actor, and as somebody that wanted to act, that definitely would have been somebody whose work I would have looked at, because I do find that he really gets into a character well, and he really gets the psychology of them. But maybe that intensity can rub off the wrong way. Was any Burley? I think he was actually the blonde. He's usually blonde, and I'd have to look, but I'd be cheating, so I won't look tonight. Anyway, guys, a second stream didn't didn't expect that, but for those, again, I'll put up a link on here, and there will be links on my two previous like pre-tape videos as well. But if you're new to my channel, for instance, and you're at all interested in my Patreon channel, and just so you know, no matter like it won't be like under a certain amount. If you pledge $1 even, then the Patreon channel is open up to you, and you're going to get all the exclusive content that's coming on there. And we're finally getting some exclusive content. I'm excited about that. This was my better half's idea, and so she's kind of the genius behind it. So you've heard me talk about her on here all the time, and how much smarter she is than me and stuff like that. So finally, you're going to get to see that come to play as we start reviewing films, some streaming services together, and giving our opinions. And our opinions won't always coincide, so we're going to clash definitely on a few things. Anyway, if you guys are interested in that, check it out, and I much appreciate it. Have a great night there. I am Aaron. This is definitely not my movie library, but this is my comfy chair. You are the cult of cinema. Welcome, Keith. You're now a member of the cult. Hopefully you come back. Yes, may the cult be with you. I'm going to grab some tea before I go to sleep. Guys, have a great night.